All right, we got a couple of okra ready. There's like a Splendor Burgundy ready, and then sorry, there he is. Some jambalaya, pretty blossom there. Got some coming in. Okra's coming online, looking good. All right, everyone, welcome to the garden. Out here picking peas. Wanted to show you something real quick. Put in a little clip of clipping some okra down. Got my popcorn behind me. We're going to try to get some insecticide on them to see if we can keep down on the earworms. When I picked my sweet corn a few weeks ago, or about a month ago now, had them in there. They just the tassels or the silks on these, the silks are starting to turn black now. They were a bright crimson red, which was pretty neat. So, but we're going to try to keep these sprayed, and we're going to let them try to cure out on the stalk to harvest that here in another month or so. It'll probably be into September. But I'm trying to cover the microphone right now. The wind's picked up. But before we get on these peas, I want to go over and let's check on these lima beans. Not been too happy with them. Because it just doesn't seem like they're producing. My lima beans right next to my peas, and you can see the grass has kind of got into them because the runners on the peas were kind of going everywhere. But I get these pods, but I mean they're not full. They're not like a great big butter bean, but then there's hardly any pods in here. I mean, there's a couple in there, but they're not. It's just not making a bean. And here you go. Here's a great big pod. No beans in them at all. And I mean, it's the whole row. And there's a pea. But I mean, there's hardly any pods in here. And there's one, there's a pod. Feels like some tiny beans. Now we get into, and every now and then you'll get one that looks like good, but it just doesn't look like, that looks like a nice one there, but there on that first of the row, I mean, here you go, here's a pod, no peas, and these things, no beans, and these things have been in the ground going on 5 months now. And this row's been here longer. You can see it just doesn't look like, see if I pan out, just doesn't look like there's anything on some of these plants in here. Don't get me wrong, you might look at the grass, and one reason why the grass, those are green beans that the heat has gotten and they died off, and or the water drowned them out when we got some water on them, so the grass has kind of gotten in them. But you can see how lush, in my opinion, these lima beans are. And then here you go, here's some full, great big pods, very tiny beans in them. So I mean, hadn't been very impressed with the lima beans, and they're the big butter bean lima beans. I mean, hadn't been too happy with them. So here we are with our pea operation. Now I went ahead and let these go on till they've hardened into pods. Makes for me store them a little bit. You can't eat them right away. You're going to have to soak them a little bit to soften them up. Every now and then I'll come across a couple of vines that are still green, and so I'm putting them in the wagon back there. I got to tighten it up, but I'm putting the wagon there and then getting the hard ones and putting in the bucket here. And this is the Mississippi purple hull peas, and they've done pretty well. What it looks like, I might get a little cart and a 5-gallon bucket out of these by the time it's all said and done. And this is only a 30-foot row. Might get a little bit more, but we'll just have to see. I bet it was only like 15-20 minutes go through the rest of this little row here. But just shy of a 5-gallon bucket. And then I got maybe a couple of quarts of beans or peas that weren't quite as hard or dried as the other ones. The good thing about the dried ones, as I mentioned earlier, is I can pretty much put them up in camp, put them up, and they'll be ready for the winter time. And all I have to do is soak them, where these that we can go ready to eat right now. So, and if you were going to put them up, you'd have to blanch them or dry them in the oven before before you can put them up. So that's one good thing about letting your bean crop or your pea crop harden up on the pods, because it makes it easier to store them so you can have them later in the year. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to hop over to the pink beans, because I got some over there that need to be harvested as well. Well, so folks, the wind's picking up. If I can keep my finger off of it. I got about 2/3 of the way down this my row here. What I'm doing is picking these pink beans, and I'm going through and getting the ones that aren't quite ripe yet, or hardened yet, or starting to dry out on the vine, and I'm going ahead and bagging them. And then I'm going to go back through with another bucket and get all the ones that have started to dry up on the vine, so we can keep those separate, because there's going to be a little bit different process putting them up. They're going to be a similar way. They've already dried out, whereas these, if we don't eat them now, what we'll have to do is dry them out just like the peas. So I might jump over. I'm kind of been real impressed with these Lemon Boy tomatoes. Maybe I can get you a peek on those. There's some more of these pink beans, and look how pink they are. The leaves are coming off because they're done. The heat's getting to them, so we're just going to go ahead and pick everything we can and start putting them up. Grow your own food. Here's what I was talking about. One of those Lemon Boy tomatoes. They look good. We just made some sauce. I'll throw a little picture, and we made some Lemon Boy tomato sauce. We'll have dinner sometime this week. But these plants have been doing pretty good. I will say the German Johnsons hadn't been doing too well. I don't know what they've kind of gotten, but we got to get in here. We'll see if we can open up these row metals. It's hard packed from the rain. See if we can open up these metals up. Excuse me, and see if we can get these plants some more breath, so to speak. All right, well, I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and start showing these peas out. As you can see, I got about a third of a bucket left, and there's my damage there. Looks like that might be, I don't even know, maybe half a quart. So we'll see. I debating, it's got a little, had some help, my helper's helping me. Got a little bit of trash in here, so what we'll probably do is rinse them and go ahead and roast them a couple of minutes. And I might just add that to the end of the movie. And the reason why, there's a couple of green ones still in there. Most of the green ones, if it felt soft, I put off to the side. We'll put with the other green ones left. And I got a little shower trying to move in on me underneath this tree, so I might have to take this inside.